Right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Really hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by, as I really do appreciate it. Before we get into the video, if you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, if you could click the like button. Also, if you've got any comments that you want to make, feel free, leave them in the comment section down below. Yeah, I really appreciate you being here. I don't know where you start with that game. Like, genuinely, where do you start? We were played off the park in the second half. The first half, barring one defensive error for them to score, we should have scored 2 or 3 goals in the first half. And then you sat there thinking, nah, I don't think this is going to be our night. You've got to chalk it up, maybe. Just the better team are going to win on the night. It's just one of those things. Will Farke make changes before, the 70th minute this time around? And some players were being really tightly squeezed out of the game. The way that Leicester set up, they did a very, very good job of squeezing onto Rutter and stopping him from being able to play. Rutter didn't have the best game up until the equaliser, losing the ball quite a lot. Stuff wasn't coming off for him, little bits and pieces like that. Somerville was very, very quiet, was well marked out of the game. Midfield was just struggling a little bit to get with grips with it, because Leicester kind of have that 5-man in midfield thing, which just outnumbers us slightly. And then, as the game's wearing on, we get to the end of the first half and we're all kind of like, right, well, we're not out of this, and we're making chances. Even though we're not playing well, we're making chances. We get into the second half and you think, right, we need to kick on, fast start, and let's get into it. And the second half starts and we can't get into the game at all. We're getting stretched from pillar to post. Daka, Tweedy, they're all doing, Mavidi, sorry, they're all, putting us under severe pressure throughout, within the second half. And I want to make a special mention to Meslier, because there were some times in that match tonight where he pulled off some stunning saves that really kept us in the game and really kept us quite well. And I think kept us, with an opportunity to maybe get back. Leicester were a little bit wasteful as well. And as we've seen in the past, if you don't take your chances, it can come to bite you in the backside. Now, what I do want to say is I think that up until around about the 70th minute, we were very much playing the occasion and not playing the game. So I think that the occasion may have gotten to the lads a little bit. And I think they were sort of slightly nervous as kind of the game was going. And then Farke makes the changes. So Dan James comes on. Bamford comes on. And then Connor Roberts comes on. And I mean, if somebody can explain to me why Connor Roberts was so far forward for the equaliser, I will await your answers on a postcard. Thank you very much. Great finish from him. Really, really interesting. And it was funny because as soon as that goal went in, you could visibly see the Leicester play. What's the best way of explaining it? From a bloke's point of view, it's going to be a bit graphic, but I want to use this as an example. When you get really, really nervous, certain parts of your anatomy shrink and start to disappear slightly because they feel like they need protecting. And you could visibly see the Leicester players do that just something turned and they visibly just shrunk. And then I don't know what happened to our players, but just something switched on. And you have to say the substitutions 100% worked. The difference that Bamford makes in that team, again, cannot be overlooked. It just can't. I don't care if you hate him or if you love him. The difference that he makes to the team functioning as a whole, you can't buy that. Well, you can. It just costs you a lot of money. But we then get the second goal. Archie Gray, God love him, and the goal. People are probably going to take that one off of him and try and say it's an own goal, but no, you've got to give that to Archie. Can you imagine what that feels? 17 years old, scoring that, and then being able to run off to the cop end and celebrate scoring a goal. Come on, 17. He's 17, and he's just done 17. And I think we forget he played right back tonight, midfield, left back tonight as well. Firpo was a bit Firpo-ish tonight. So he was kind of due one. And I don't know, just that crowd is just second to none. When it's on it, the sheer volume and the noise, it does things to the opposing side. And obviously DJ gets, well, it's not DJ's goal, is it? It comes off Bamford's knee, so Bamford's gonna claim that one. But he said that he ran off celebrating the goal and nobody was running with him because they all ran with Dan James, thinking it was Dan James's goal. He said, I felt like a right idiot. So just, and even the interview after the game, just these guys, there's something special about them. There really, really is. This core, this team. Listen, Leicester are a very, very, very good side. They played us off the park in the second half. You cannot say any better than that. They probably shaded the first half with the goal and the pressure that they put onto us. But we just have this attitude within us, and that is a rub of the green win if you're ever going to get one. But we earned the right to get the rub of the green. And I'll say it again, Meslier with the saves, that makes a massive difference in this game. And just the overall belief and the never give up, never say die, always pushing forwards. We've now got the gap down to 6 points. We have now won 9 on the spin for the first time since 1932. We have now scored 22 goals so far this year and conceded 2. We've had a goal difference increase of, I think, what is it now? Goal difference increase. I think it must be somewhere near 17. I think it's 17 goals. It's somewhere around, I think it's somewhere between 14 and 17 goals in terms of a goal difference swing. And yeah, I was worried about this game. And up until the 80th minute, I was very worried about this game. And, you know, there were certain players. I wasn't digging players out per se, but I was just saying that certain people just hadn't shown up tonight because I feel like they were playing the occasion more than playing the game. And I think they'll learn a really, really not harsh, but important lesson from this. But overall, what can you say? That's 9. It's ridiculous. 9 wins on the spin. What can you do? You just can't. Never did I ever think that would ever happen. I think also as well that's our 2000th win, and 17-year-old Archie Gray scores in our 2000th win game, which is quite good. It was really pleasing to see Eddie Gray applauding for him as well. That was a really nice touch. But just the fans staying after the game as well, and it's a complete 180 from what we were last season by any stretch of the imagination, just in terms of overall the connection that the fans have with the players, just the way that the players feel about playing. They're not overawed at playing at Ellen Road. I think the occasion did get to them tonight, but that in terms of that playing at Ellen Road and just how that feels for them, just some of the stuff that Georgie was saying after, during the game as well. Just like even when we're 1-0 down, it doesn't feel like we're 1-0 down. It feels like it's 0-0. He just said, look at this. And he pointed to the crowd. He just look at this. This is unbelievable. And it is. And that's the thing. And when you get, all we ever ask for as fans is for people to put in effort and to try. And when you do that, you will reap the rewards of a fan base that will absolutely idolise you. And that's what's happening at the moment. And it's really, really good to see. And I'm really pleased for Farke, in terms of games, won unbeaten at home. I think is that 43 points we've picked up from home now, from home games. And 72 points. I'm still in shock. It's a really, really weird one. I could get really technical about the game, but I don't want to. I don't want to sort of lays the players out a little bit. They weren't 100% on it tonight. We still got the result. That's the important thing. There are definitely things to work on. Just that little change in the formation that Farke did and the little change in personnel really, really helped. And that's the big difference of having a very, very good bench at the same time as well, because it was the bench that helped us win that game tonight. And for 80 minutes, Jorginho Rutter was the most infuriating player on the pitch because he kept getting crowded out, he kept losing the ball, he kept passing it in the wrong way, all of that kind of stuff. And then is involved for the 3 goals. It's mercurial. That's the best way of explaining it. It's a mercurial performance. Just brilliant. I just absolutely love this team, and long may it continue. And now the 4 games that we've got now, we need to go into each game and win them and win them and win them and keep getting the points on the board, because that's all that matters. And they are very, very winnable games. Obviously, you have to earn the right to win those games, and you pay the utmost respect to the opponents that you play in. But we should be picking up the points. This was the game that I was seriously worried about, and I did, in the back of my mind, think that we could potentially lose this game. And for near enough 80 minutes, I thought that was what was going to happen. Glad I was wrong, everybody. That's going to do it for this one. If you want to make any comments on what I've said, please feel free to put me in the comment section down below. If you haven't done so already, if you could hit the subscribe button, like the video, share the video, all of that kind of stuff. I'm stunned. I was sat for like half an hour after the game just flicking through my phone on Twitter, just going, I don't know what to do with myself. I have no idea how we've won this game. But my God, I'm glad that we have. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Cheers.